Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Sunday, October 12th.
Alrighty then. So moving along with the Savage Bobber build, I've got the fuselage done. We saw that in the previous video. Well, that part of the fuselage. But the next step is what looks like wing roots. Now, parts are carbon. It's a carbon sandwich. So they line up thusly. And the inner and the outer are different. This one is notched for a carbon tube, as well as some notches on the back, and the other piece is the outer part. So I'm trying to line those up with epoxy and keeping them where I want to. I just happen to find a couple of tools that fit a few of those holes to make the alignment pretty good. Once it's glued, I can tape it or just leave the tools in until I pop them out, as long as I don't get glue on them. Anyways, just a little tip that I came up with. I'm sure everybody else will have come up with something that's similar, or just holding it and clamping it. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do, and that's my next step, is to glue these guys together with epoxy. Alright, so I've just started to figure out the assembly of the wing root joiner, and we have our first problem. Problem is this carbon tube, 6mm by 71, goes in between and locks in and locks these two guys together. Here's the problem. This thing's only 66mm, so it doesn't fully go in one side or the other. I'm gonna have to see if I can find something in carbon that I've got lying around. I don't have a lot of carbon parts lying around. I may have an old archery arrow, which I think might be too thick. I can go through some of my old airplane graveyard and see if I can find a carbon tube this size. But yeah, so far I'm not impressed that they got that wrong. Also goes for some of the square tubing on the initial fuselage cockpit area. There was varying lengths that were supposed to be the same both sides, but some of these horizontal lowers were off by 2 or 3mm. And actually these verticals were off by about 2mm also. Anyways, not a great start. Alright, this is, as they say, 20 minutes later. So on the left is the Dancing Wings carbon fiber tube that's not 71mm, 65, 66. On the right is a piece of carbon tubing that I cut from one of my wife's arrows from her archery set, but since she doesn't shoot anymore, she'll never know that I took one and cut it down. The only difference is mine's now 71mm, but it's 10th thou under the 6mm diameter, which at the end of the day is just going to leave a bit more room for epoxy and less to squeeze out. So I think it'll sit pretty straight and it'll work. Anyways, there's no way I was going to get carbon on a Sunday afternoon. Hobby shops aren't open even if they have it. So hey, I mean, archery stores, that's your second option for carbon tubing, boys and girls.